Welcome back to the Frugal Gardener's Vlog. I'm in Zone 6B. It is Easter weekend and I'm back in the garden. This is part 2 of my spring seed planting. Well, not all seeds, but pretty much most of what I'm planting are seeds. This is what I've shown you before. Some of this is update. A lot of this is new seeds that I just planted and are starting to progress. And this is my nephew's patch. That's these are alpine strawberries that we talked about before. They are a little bit smaller, but these are supposed to produce all spring and summer long. Now this area back here looks like it's nothing going on here, but he just planted a bunch of lettuce back here. So this lettuce should be coming in a couple of days. This burlap bag here is I put over at night to keep the heat in and also to keep the birds out of it. So, okay. This should look familiar to you guys if you are familiar with my channel. This is my multi-purpose, multi-functional area. This is my mini greenhouse in the winter, and I just converted this for spring and summer. Back over here is my starters for my cabbage that's going to be going in this area here. Hence the reason why I put that here, so that you can have an idea of where this is going to go. To the right here in this corner, this is where my cucumbers are going to go. I usually plant 4 cucumber seeds, 4 plants in this area here, and they produce really well there. Now, in this front, just in this little area here, I'm going to put carrots. Now, everything that's here is pretty much going to live here for the rest of the spring and summer. These are carrots that I normally grow in containers like this, so this is going to be in addition to the carrots that I planted here. Over here are onions that I normally grow in these containers. These containers are roughly 10 inches deep, so they work out very well for that. This is my other alpine strawberry. I didn't want to put them all in the same place, so that one I'm keeping an eye on. These are the strawberries from last year. They come back every year. These are the 2 blueberry plants that I brought this year. And back over here, this window box, these are the starters for my broccoli. If you notice, the broccoli is purple broccoli, the cabbage is purple cabbage, some of the carrots are purple cabbage. There's a theme going on here, and I'll explain that to you later. It's kind of a surprise. So, let's move on. Here's another area that you may be familiar with. These are the huge pots that I set up over here last year because I started doing companion planting. This is my makeshift trellis that you saw in the previous video. These are the russet potatoes, have not come up yet. This is my old Meyer lemon tree that I let die because after 5 years of not getting anything from it, I decided that I'm going to use this as a trellis. So I'm basically going to plant within this area down here the russet potatoes and the potatoes that are going to go here, and the potatoes that are here already I believe these are the red potatoes. This soil has not been changed since this pot's been here. This pot's been out here for maybe, well, since before we moved here. So this pot has been around for about 8 years. The soil is a mess. I'm going to probably end up dumping all this soil, repotting it, and replanting it. Now, the goal, as you can see, it's already started. The goal for this area is to have potatoes. They're going to be red potatoes, going to be Yukon Gold potatoes, russet potatoes, and it's going to be a bed of potatoes way on the other side. So this is going to be probably about a third of my potatoes are going in here. And a lot of my beans are here because these are starters. These are going to go in this area back here, back here, back here, so they can climb up this trellis here. You can see one of these is coming up already. So once they come up, and I'll probably do a direct seed on some of these, and they'll go straight up. Now, didn't mention this before, but this is my elephant garlic from last year. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 of these that I planted them last fall, and I knew they would come back, and they did. There's another one behind here. So I'm waiting to harvest those. I'm tempted to pull one of these because I'm fixing lamb for Easter dinner, and I need some garlic for my lamb. You might be wondering why this is here. This is going to be the bed for my potatoes. Now, a lot of people will basically tell you, in order to grow potatoes, you go out and get some worm castings, you go out and you buy fertilizer, you go out and buy compost, you go out and buy. That's great. You get great results. I'm not knocking it, but you're going to end up spending $30, $40, $50. And to me, I don't see the purpose of doing that if you're spending more than what it costs for you to grow whatever it is you're growing. This has worked for me well in the past. This is leftover from my compost that did not decompose. And I also have a bag of cut grass clippings that I put in there. Now the potatoes are going to go in here. I'm going to spread them out, same as I did here. Then I'm going to cover it with my homemade compost. And then as they grow, I'll add more soil. So this is more for demonstration purposes. I'm going to do the same thing with this one on the end. And I'm going to do the same thing with this over here, so that I don't have to spend the money on all those nutrients. The purpose is simple. It's to keep the soil from becoming too compacted. This way, these nutrients are going to break down into the soil as this breaks down. Potatoes take about 100 days. Well, these type of potatoes takes about 100 days. So over that time, this will break down. Another advantage outside of saving money is water. This will help retain moisture when it gets warmer outside. So again, something I've been using for a while. It saves money, and the results, for me anyway, are about the same. There are obviously advantages to using the higher price, the paid stuff, but again, a lot of people don't have that kind of money. And if you don't want to put that kind of money out, or if you don't have that kind of money to put out, then this is a good substitute. So, moving on to my new favorite part of the garden. This is my work stand, my workstation. Keep my water bottles down below. I have kind of just different projects up here, but this is starters for my peppers. I shouldn't have put G because I'm thinking ghost peppers, but really for my green peppers. And this is self-explanatory. These are this needs a little bit more soil. These are the ever-bearing strawberries that I brought. I think I had these about 3 weeks now. And over here, again, more starters, collard greens recently started, and that's the reason why you don't really see anything happening there. So last but not least, this area here, these are all peas. I started these in the fall, but I waited too late. So you can see some of these came back. There's even, there you go. You see the flowers starting to come up on there, starting to bud. I put 4 seeds minimum in each one of these pots. So even this pot here, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different pots that I have the seeds in for the peas, because I'll tell you something. Once you grow your own peas, you will never go back to that stuff in the can. I mean, they came out really good, and my biggest regret was that I didn't plant more. So I'm not even sure I'm going to stop here. I might find a couple more pots and plant some more. So that's where we are right now on this part of the garden. I still have the raised crate garden to do. I still have the rustic garden to do. And in the next video, I'm going to show you my fruit trees, which is a new area of the garden that I haven't shown you guys yet. So that's going to be on the next video, or the next vlog. That's all for now. Thanks for taking time out of your day. This is the Frugal Gardener. Please subscribe and post your questions and comments below. And remember what I always tell you: when you grow your own food, you'll always know where it comes from. You guys have a great day.